George Harrison's song My Sweet Lord was the first #1 hit by a Beatle after the group broke up. It also landed Harrison in court, accused of subconscious copyright infringement, in the case Bright Tunes Music Corporation versus Harrisongs Music. In 1962, a doo-wop group called the Chiffons recorded a song called He's So Fine, written by Ronnie Mack. This tune consisted of 4 repetitions of the musical phrase sol, re, mi, called motif A, followed by 4 repetitions of the phrase sol, la, do, with a grace note inserted on the second repetition. He's So Fine was #1 on U.S. Billboard charts for 5 weeks in 1963. It was also a hit in England, though the Beatles occupied the #1 spot that summer. 7 years later, former Beatle George Harrison was in Copenhagen with his new musical group. Harrison slipped away from a press conference and started vamping guitar chords, playing with the lyrics Hallelujah and Hare Krishna. Forming an idea for a song, Harrison assembled his group. All the musicians worked on developing a 3-note motif, chanting them like mantras, exploring 4-part harmonies, and adding lyrics such as My Sweet Lord. The following week, the group went into a London recording studio to make an album. Harrison gave his basic motifs to the American gospel singer Billy Preston, who ended up being the principal musician on the song. The group worked back and forth in the recording studio, settling on a 3-note motif A repeated 4 times, followed by 3 repetitions of a motif B. The final recording, entitled My Sweet Lord, was issued by Apple Records with Harrison listed as the composer. It became an enormous success. As it happened, My Sweet Lord's 3-note motif A, followed by the repetitions of its motif B, bore a strong resemblance to the main musical motifs of He's So Fine. The harmonies were identical, as was a grace note added in the second repetition of motif B. Harrison and the other musicians hadn't thought of this at all while they developed My Sweet Lord. Bright Tunes Music Corporation, the owner of the copyright to He's So Fine, sued Harrison for copyright infringement. It alleged that Harrison plagiarized He's So Fine. Harrison and Preston both testified at length that they weren't aware that they were using the musical themes from He's So Fine. The court considered the case.